shadows, if you look at it, the bearish was able to pull it down, and guess what? Bulls never was able to pull it back up, right? So what we seen was when this market closed, this market was going down. There was no fight. There were no fights. So it's a good decision of a reversal, right? Um, and then the bullish, they wasn't able. Now if you can see it open right here, right? It opened right here, and so that shows you that the bullish did pull it all the way up. So at one point, this candle was a nice green candle. Look at it. So imagine, see, we're looking at it as a dragonfly, but see where my cursor is? If it was there, this would have been all green. It would have told you, wow. And then all of a sudden, at the end of the day, it went all the way back down, which means, uh-oh, something's going on, you know. So dragonflies are a good form of, you know, telling you a lot of good information. Um, so basically, it was a failure of the rally to pull this dragonfly up, right? Um, Dragonflies, you know, they usually you usually find them at the at the gravestone. I'm sorry. You usually find them at the top. That's where you want to look for them, right? Um, I'm sorry. I don't want to get you confused. I hope I'm not saying dragonfly. I do mention dragonfly because that's the next one. This is a gravestone, and you find them at the top, right? And let's just go and look. Let's just go look for some dragonflies because if you find them at the bottom, they're another name, right? And remember what we talked about: dragonflies not necessarily being having a complete closed body, but it has to be where this part gravestone. I'm sorry, gravestone. This is what we're talking about. Let's just look. Let's look for some gravestones. And gravestones can be very rare when you find them, but they do exist. They do something to look at. I hardly see too many gravestones, you know, but they are there. Let's see if we can go try to jump in another. Whoa. What do we have right here? There's a gravestone,
Good
which
morning. Attention all
was
participants, study 896. Your vital signs and ECGs are about to begin. Please head to the restroom at this moment if you would like to do anything. Yeah, if you need to handle any business, just go ahead and do it now. The supplies are going to be beginning at 7:35 with the first participant. Please be at the bedside at least 5 to 10 minutes prior. Thank you.
okay. So these are dragonflies. Okay, so here's a gravestone, possible, right? Because it doesn't have, but it's not exactly. It still has a body right there, so that's what makes it not necessarily a gravestone. But they're very rare, and they will show up, and it does tell you that there's a possible reversal. Yeah, looks like a lot of these candles that I'm looking like doesn't have any ends on them, and that's kind of weird. This could have been a gravestone. Here, sometimes a gravestone will have it. You see that? See that market? And sometimes it will have a little. You know, don't get caught up on them not having anything. See, here's gravestone. It could have been possible gravestone. So just like we talked about the doji, just like we talked about the long-legged, again, like here, it's a possible gravestone. Even though the market shot up right here, remember, this was the indication to get in to go down, right? but it would have confused you because it went this high. So you would probably had had an analogy on the pullback, how far it will go up. That's what they call extension, continuation. Because you have a swing, market swings up, it retraces, and it retests itself. And if it breaks its swing, then it's a whole new market. But this indicator right here was a sign for this. Look at that. Powerful downward. Your analogy would have told you that. Again, you just can't completely rely on that indicator without your other confirmations, your other votes, your other backups. So that's why the beauty and just but it is something. If you didn't have anything at all and all you had was candles, you could still trade in the market. But the problem is that if you see how I'm navigating, we're in a day. How many days would it have taken for this to form? Hmm? Sometimes if you get into multiple markets and you understand all your strategies, you can actually trade in a lot of different markets and find your setups a lot quicker. But if you were just satisfied with just learning candles, it may take you a week, 2 weeks to find that particular trade. So this is one of the reasons why we add other indicators, and then you're going to learn this in my class. I'm going to teach you. I mean, we're going from A to Z, beginning to end, completion. When you finish this class, you're going to be day trading. You're going to be a trader confident enough to know to ready to be pulled to pull the trigger, to execute a trade, to make some money. Okay, so we're let's see if we can still find some gravestone. I'm sorry. Oh, this is a good one. It's in the middle. Again, I like to find them at the top because when you find them in the middle, you know, the market may not go as far as down as it needs to go. You might not get a big move, but when you get it at the top, you can get a pretty good, nice move down. So that's why I don't like to trade in the middle. And then you'll eventually learn why as you continue to stay with me. Just stay with me. You know. Again, I'm not getting ready to make this entertaining. I'm just simply trying to teach you how to trade technical analysis. And I believe that you're here because you don't want to be entertained. You're here because you want to create a nice retirement plan for yourself. You want to be able to make money. You want to invest your own money. You're tired of being able to get these low amounts of returns from various different financial entities or financial advisors running around here thinking that they're investing your money. Imagine what you're learning now, and you got some financial advisor, and you telling him to get in this market, and he got thousands of clients. How can he possibly do technical analysis on the market to make you a bigger return? No, he's not going to do this. He's just simply going to put you into investments that he may know that are beneficial for you. How he got his information, hey, I'm not getting ready to say, but obviously they work for the banks, so they must know something. But sometimes your returns be 22%, sometimes legally, I believe the Federal Exchange Commission says that they're required to give you at least 7%. So again, if you want to go work a job and everything and let your money make money, this is not for you. But if you want to learn how to trade and invest, this is for you to understand how to make decisions for yourself. You know, again, this is not financial advice. This is just simply, me and what I believe that I should and how I approach the market. Okay, so we just talked about the gravestone, right? Now we're going to talk about what is called the dragonfly. Let's see if we can find one. Um, by the way, let's go back since we're talking about dojis, right? Can somebody tell me what kind of doji that we see there? It's a doji candle. It's a spider, but is it a long-legged? Is it what is called gravestone? Did we talk about that? Is it a spinning top? We talked about the spinning tops. Well, what do we have? The rule. It closed on predominantly in the middle. It had two long areas. Doesn't necessarily have to be 100% where this is higher than the other. So this is a long-legged doji. It's a long-legged doji, right? And we can see it was followed by another doji, which is a good sign that the market is reversed. Remember, it's indecision. But when you see this, even though it looks like it's going up, this will fool you now. I mean, it'd be like, well, it closed here, but then it closed up a little bit. So